drop. Let the beat drop. Turn it up. Let the beat drop. That is not cool. Next level. Next level. Nice beach ball. Boom, balloon, get out the way. One up. Nice beach ball. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Party monkey. Turn it up. Nice. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Get out the way. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Get out the way. Let the beat drop. Like me now, Party Crasher. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Nice beach ball. Turn it up. Nice beach ball. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Get out the way. Party Crasher.
next level.
Nice beach ball. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Party crasher. Party boom, balloon, get out the way. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Turn it up. Nice beach ball. Boom, balloon, get out the way. Party crasher. Party crasher. Party crasher. Boom, nice. Get out the way. How you like me now? Boom, blue, get out the way. Party Crasher. Get out the way. Party Crasher.
How you like me now?
Nice beach ball. Blue, get out the way.
How you like me now?
Get out the way. Get out the way. Let the beat drop. Nice beach ball.
How you like me
Get out
now?
the way. Party Crasher. Party Crasher.
How you like me now?
Get out the way. Get out the way. Party Crasher.
How you like me now?
Next level. Nice beach ball. Blue, get out the way. Party Crasher.